Alright, gonna work on a generator again today, and we had a chance to look at it and see what was going on here and stuff. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put this bearing on this shaft right here. And first, I want to clean this shaft up a little bit because it's not really rough, but I can see why the bearing didn't really come off that easy. So I want to clean that up a little bit. And this one here we'll probably tap on so it's on there good. But when I put this side on and slide this on, you know, you want everything to be tight so the bearing works properly. But I think I'll clean this up. See right there? That's already in there pretty good. Let's see what we get there. Let me get that bearing out of there so I can show you what I want to talk about. All right. That popped right out of there. I just couldn't do it with one hand. So, like I say, this one here, we want it to be snug, but not so tight that it's tough to get this plastic cover on. But anyway, let's come back over here. It's funny how you look at. Let me get my glasses. Stay there. All right. Like I was saying, you know, you look at this stuff and you try and figure out, you know, what certain things do and what purpose do they serve. And I got a washer here. Let me see if this helps. It might help you a little bit. But anyway, I got a washer here, and sorry about that. It's sort of got a lip on it, and it fits right over the existing washer there. But then I'm looking at it and I'm saying, what purpose does that serve? Because the bearing, you got the bearing there, and it's too big to fit on the center of the bearing there. So what would it do? And then I'm looking, and I got the bearing here, and what that actually is it belongs to the old bearing, and that's what kept the grease in. You know, some of them have little tin ones. You don't need the light now. Little tin covers to keep the grease in, and this one here has a rubber keeping the grease in. So actually, that's all it is. So we don't need that. This will go right up against there, or close to it. I don't know if it should sit on there or not. I don't know if it matters, but we'll see. All right. So first, let's try and get it to fit inside this here snugly, but not too snug. Then another problem we're gonna come across is, how am I gonna keep them brushes in there while I'm putting this cover on? Because I'll probably tap the cover on. You know, in some cases they have like a hole that goes in the side and it holds the brushes in place. I was thinking about just drawing a little hole and putting a paper clip in to hold them. And then I was inside thinking that maybe it was short out. But now after looking at it, I see there's a space in between them, so we might be alright. I also thought of drilling a hole through the back so you can actually put a little string on them and pull them back and hold them out of the way until you want to release them. But then there's also a groove here. I don't know if that groove has anything to do with holding them in place, but we'll figure it out. We always do. Alright, let me get some sandpaper and clean the inside of this out. Alright, I started cleaning that up, and I was just using some sandpaper here, 220 paper, and you can see there was some rust in there. And I'm thinking to myself, there should be a better way to get that out of there, and I always forget. You know, I always have something around. And here's these little, they're not abrasive, but they're sort of like polishing wheels. So I think I'm going to put one of these on a Dremel and stick it in there and clean that out a little better. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't think of this thing sooner. It only took about a minute or so. I don't even know what they're called, but they're nice. They're abrasive, but they're not aggressive, might I say. Yeah, I cleaned it up real nice. Look how nice and shiny that is. Let me throw you on a tripod and let's see how well it works. Alright, here's the bearing. Let's see how it does. Try to get it in square. Yeah, it's nice, look. look, it pushes in. I don't mean to be in your way. It pushes in. Can't get it out now. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be tight enough so it did its job, but loose enough that if I want to take it out with a little persuasion, it would come out. There we go. Okay. Alright, perfect. So that worked out perfect. Alright, now let's go put it on the shaft, clean that shaft up. I might even use this little machine to clean the shaft up. Alright, let's go over there. Come on. Alright, let me see how that feels. Alright, it cleaned up pretty well. Let's see how it fits. Oh yeah, look at it, wow. Yeah, it's going on here pretty good. Okay, it's tight, but not too tight. It's tight enough that it'll go on, and if I tap it on a little more till it seats home, it'll be okay. But I can actually pull it off. What I'm going to do is, I don't know, some people might disagree with this, but I'm gonna put this anti-seize on there, just a real thin coat. I don't think it's going to affect the tightness of it, but it'll help take it off if somebody ever has to take it off. It'll keep it from rusting. Okay, yeah, it's good stuff. I use some bolts and everything. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys. Alright, let me put that on here. Okay, I wiped a little on there, but I put most of it on the inside of this bearing here. That way, it'll, whatever excess is, it'll push it out. Okay, let me wipe that off there. There is no front or back to this. Actually went on better when I put it on my hand. Alright, let me see. There we go. Oh, look at that. Almost went all the way on. Okay, the one we took off had a little bit, just a tiny bit sticking out. We're almost home there, so maybe a little more. Okay, sounds like it's home. And that's about where the old one was. So I'm liking that. Let me clean this mess up. We'll call that good. Yep, buddy. Alright, hold on. I'm going to take you off the tripod here. Let's go over to the bench. Hold on, it's going to be a little rocky. Alright. Now here's what we're going to do now. This little piece here, it's sticking up a little bit. I'm going to try and clean this up a little with the razor blade. I don't know if you can see it's sticking up. I mean, it's hard and stable. I mean, nothing's moving, but maybe just clean that up a little bit and try and push it back in place, make it look a little better. And then I'll take this wire, this one here, right here. I'll replace this wire. I don't know how this is held in there. I know on the newer switches there's like a little button you go push and you can pull that bitch right out of there, but I don't know about this one. And the other end just has a terminal on it, so I can unscrew that. Alright, let me see if I can find a wire. I don't know what that is, 12 or 14 or 16, but we'll find something close. Alright, we trimmed it up a little bit and got it pretty flush. So now I'm going to try and heat it up, get this red hot, and then maybe just try and melt that seam together. You know, and this all is going to be under the label. Up here maybe we won't mess it up so much. And then on the back, I don't know if you see that, but we can see the crack going all the way down here. The back we can, we'll see what we can do with that. Alright, stand by. Alright, it's a little loud here because I got the propane bottle going here, the torch. I was trying to show you what I'm doing. What we're doing is just heating the tip up of this metal punch. It doesn't have to be all that hot. It doesn't have to be red hot. We're only dealing with plastic. And then we're coming down here and we're finding the crack. And then see if we can do this without this moving. We're just melting that together. You see. There we go. I don't know how well you guys can see that. We'll try it again. There we go. I'm trying to look at that and look at this at the same time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk right along that crack and then walk along the one in the front, and that should help us. Alright, I moved yours over here so maybe you can see a little better. See that? Just push down on that. And I'm probably in your way, right? Yeah. Oh, Road King. I'm heating the tip up. And then you just come over here and twist it a little and smear it around. And that should help it a lot. So let me shut this off so you can hear me. Alright, I'm going to follow this crack, and whatever cracks I see, there's another crack over here. And I'm going to try and button it up a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. I mean, it's all melted back together and looks pretty decent. And even the front looks good. All this here is going to be covered. The only thing you'll be seeing is the front there between the two outlets. And it doesn't look too bad to me. So we got this label here. It's like a tin label, and then they put it back on with packaging tape. I'm gonna see. I've been trying to take it off. I think I can get that tape off without ruining the label. And then when we put this back on, we could just use contact cement, and it'll look a lot better. All right, let's. I'll take that tape off, and then we'll work on changing this wire. Alright, I cut this wire off right here. That's where the bad section was. And here's the rest of it. And it turns out that they had maybe about 3 or 4 inches longer than they really needed it. They had it coming around. They had it coming around this way like this, with a big loop. So that's probably one of the reasons why it was rubbing up against that. So I'm going to turn this around, put it in that way. And then just cut this bad section out here, and I'll still have 2 or 3 inches longer than I'll really need. So I'll solder that together and put a piece of shrink tube on there and push it out of the way, and it'll be good to go. Alright, I fixed this wire here. I soldered it and put a piece of thick tubing on there, shrink tubing, so that'll be fine. And I pushed all these wires down so they won't hit anything. Alright, so now what I got to do is, this is where the brushes go in. And what I had planned on doing was drilling a hole through the side there and putting a pin through it to hold the brushes in place and down while I tap this thing in place. But I can't do it with a drill, and even with a Dremel, I can't get a Dremel down there to drill it straight through. So I'm thinking of another idea here, and it may work even better than that. I I'm going to drill a hole straight through the back, which would leave 2 little holes in the front here. And if I send some strings through there, I was thinking of tying it around the back of the brushes, but if 2 little strings are through there, this is such a tight fit that it just may jam it up enough to hold them back, and then once I put this on, pull the strings out, and then they'll be released. So I won't even have to tie them, I'll just have to use a string to jam it up. So let me get a drill, and I'll drill tiny holes through the back of this plate, and then we'll see how that works. Alright, yeah, this seems like it's working out pretty good for me. You see the way the brush is pushed down there and it's level? Well, this spring here is what pushes it and keeps tension up against the metal part there. And what I got coming out here is that little string. All I have to do is pull it, and then it should release them. See where I'm going with this? Alright, I put some anti-seize inside there on that thing, and we'll see how this goes. Let me put the other piece of string in there and we'll work on it. Alright, this seems like it's working pretty good. I'm almost there. I can hear it hitting home. Okay, that's it. Now I just got to put these long bolts in, and that should be okay. That should be fine. Alright, let me do that, and then we'll put the center bolt in. Oh yeah, you know what? While we're here, I might as well pull these strings out, see if that worked. Alright. This one was pretty tight. I had to use a bigger string. Ugh. There we go. It's nylon. Now we can actually stick a thing in there and make sure them brushes are touching. Alright. Alright. I connected all the wires back up. Bolted all the front back on here and everything, and it's looking pretty good. And I cleaned the specification plate here up. And I'm not going to put it on right now. I'm just going to hang it here to keep it from getting lost. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it looks a lot better than it did. It's too bad, you know, if I fixed that, you probably wouldn't even tell it was damaged as bad as it was, but we're not going to get crazy with it. Alright, so hopefully it was just that grounded wire, that bad wire that was grounding out, but we don't know. We'll have to wait for a little dirt bike to come, and he can start yanking on the cord, and we'll see if we're generating some electricity. So until then, enough of this. Thanks for hanging in there with us.